96.3 Rio Country. It's Bryan Allen, and I'm so excited. I've got the icon, the legend, Charlie Daniels, on the phone with me. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, my friend. Thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely. Are we catching you? Are you on the road, or are you at home? Where are you checking in from?
I am in Texas. I'm in Arlington, Texas today. We're doing a show here tonight, and we'll move from here to another place in Texas, and then, gosh, it won't be too long before we're going to be headed out your way, you know?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're going to be here, Wild Horse Pass Hotel and Casino. We are so excited. Saturday, December 10th. So if you haven't grabbed up your tickets to see Charlie, definitely get on that. Let's start with the new album, Nighthawk. That came out towards the end of the summer. This was kind of a special album. You had mentioned that you kind of wanted to put a bunch of cowboy songs together on one album. Was this something that you've wanted to do for a while?
Oh, yeah. This album was probably, 8 or 10 years I've been gathering up songs for it. I mean, not on a daily basis, but when I would run across one that I felt like would fit what I wanted to do with this album, I would put it aside and keep it. And when I got enough songs, I went in and recorded it. I have a great respect for the working cowboy. We see, a lot of times we see people's concept of what a cowboy is, not you where you live by any means, but a lot of people, East Coast and West Coast, and they don't really know. They think a cowboy goes around and carries a gun and shoots people, you know?
Right.
And there's so many places, the big outfits out west that still use working cowboys to handle the cattle because they got thousands of acres to cover. When I was younger and I could set a horse all day long, I used to go out actually work with the cowboys out in Nevada and out in West Texas. And,
wow.
I got such a great respect for the working cowboy and what he does and kind of horsemanship and that sort of thing. And I wanted to pay tribute to these guys and their way of life. So I just kept collecting songs over the years. So I got into an album.
Of course, I love the title track. Nighthawk is awesome. One thing I did want to ask you about, I know you did Johnny Cash, Ghost Riders in the Sky, but you called it a Cowboy Legend. You kind of renamed it, and I heard that when you went into the studio to record that, you were actually like channeled Johnny, like what he was.
No, not really.
No?
No. I just do it my way. I just, when we try to, probably what you heard was, we try to, when we do something of somebody else, especially a well-known song like that, till we have no interest in doing it like it's been done before. We want to do a whole different version of it, so we try to approach it from a totally different way than what somebody else would. You know, we did an album of Bob Dylan tunes a while back, and our main concern was doing it totally different than the way anybody ever done them before, as many times they've been recorded. So no, we're just trying to get a little bit different take on it.
It's just like, hey, let's just go in and just see what happens.
Well, we are a band. It's not just me. I mean, we're a 6-piece band, and everybody is welcome to put their ideas into whatever we do. If somebody's got an idea, if we're recording, and somebody's got an idea, they're perfectly welcome to bring. In fact, I encourage that. That's what I want.
Uh-huh.
So we sound more like a band. We're a lot of the records you hear cut with studio musicians, which is great. There's some of the best musicians in the world, or Nashville studio musicians. But it's still there's a difference in the way a record recorded by studio musicians and a record recorded by a band who is used to playing together all the time makes. It's a little looser sometimes. It's maybe not as perfect, but it's more kind of warmer, I think. So there is a difference, definitely.
Congratulations also, I know, recently inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, and that had to be just exciting. It's about time. I mean, you were inducted with some other members of Randy Travis, and you were at the ceremony that was just last month. And did you get to hang out with him at all?
Oh, yeah, I did. I've known Randy for quite a while. Randy is a very brave guy. I tell you what, he's had some tough times physically here the last while with health.
Right.
He's hanging in there and he's getting better. And, God bless him. I pray for him every day. I want to see him get back and get that guitar and get back out there with it again.
Yeah, I think we all do. But
get out there and praise the Lord with his guitar.
Absolutely, yeah. So I congratulations on that. And I know you've kind of done the volunteer jam, kind of tied that into like a birthday celebration. We'll talk about that coming up. If you can you hang out a little bit with us?
You got it, my friend.
We'll come back with more with Charlie Daniels right here on 96. 96.3 Real Country. Hey, thanks so much for listening today. Glad to have you along, and very happy to have Charlie Daniels on the phone, who, Charlie Daniels Band coming to Wild Horse Pass Hotel and Casino Saturday, December 10th. You can get ticket info up on the website. Belated happy birthday wishes to you, my friend. You just turned 80 last month, and I know the volunteer jam, but what did you do on the actual day, the birthday? Did you get to celebrate and kind of...
Well, you'd be surprised. The Hall of Fame had a birthday party for me, but it was on the 29th. It was on a Saturday night.
Okay.
My birthday was actually on a Friday night. And believe it or not, my wife and myself treated it just like any other day. We just stayed home. We knew we were going to be going to the party on the other night, so we just stayed home and did ordinary things. And then, of course, the next day we went down and partied with everybody in Nashville. Well, not everybody in Nashville, obviously, but a lot of folks in Nashville that came down to the Hall of Fame to celebrate with us.
Very good. Well, at least you got some just away time and just to kind of spend with your wife and everything. And then I mentioned the volunteer jam is coming up November 30th, right, in Nashville?
Yeah, absolutely. Volunteer Jam started as a live recording session in 1974 at War Memorial Auditorium in Nashville, and it was supposed to be a one-time thing, but it just turned into, it kind of took on a life of its own. I've seen a few things happen like this in my life, but not a lot. It's very unusual happening when an event just kind of takes itself, it just becomes an entity of its own.
Right.
And it was obvious that we should do it again. So we're doing the 42nd anniversary one this year in Nashville on the 30th of November, and it's a great lineup. We've got Luke Bryan and Larry the Cable Guy. We've got Travis Tritt. We've got Chris Stapleton.
Oh, wow.
We've got, who am I missing here? I said Travis Tritt. Three Doors Down, rock band.
Yeah, and I think I read Kid Rock, I think, is on board too, right?
Kid Rock's on board, yes. It's going to be a really good show.
Yeah, and I know a portion of the proceeds go to the Journey Home Project.
Yes,
and that's something that means a lot to you personally. Talk about that a little bit.
Journey Home Project is an organization that some friends of mine and myself started that we try to soften the landing from our men and women who have been serving their country in the armed forces, which sounds like a very simple thing to do when you come back from that. It's just a transition into civilian life, but sometimes it's not.
Right.
So we try to take away some of the hard knocks, whatever they need. It has to be a furniture or a car or education or whatever. And that's what it's all about. And it's a labor of love. We love doing it. And so some of the proceeds from Volunteer Jam are going to that this year. That is
fantastic. That you're out there doing it and also giving back at the same time. I just think that's awesome. Recently, another congratulations, the exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame. We got to talk about that. The Million Mile Reflections that opened back in September, I think. Have you seen it? Have you kind of checked it out?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. And it's open till I think March of next year. It's very interesting. Of course, to me, it's interesting because it represents my life and what I have been from childhood up to the present day, the accolades, the memorabilia, the things that have meant so much to me and personal things. It's just, as I look, it's such great memories. I would, but it's also just Country Music Hall of Fame is a fascinating place to go, and I would advise anybody to go there. If you do go, take a look at Million Mile Reflections. We'd love for you to see it.
It's kind of like a real-life timeline, probably, as you're walking through and just...
Yeah, it is. They've done a great job on it, too. They've really made it work.
Very cool.
Excellent job.
I can't wait to get back there and check that out. And while we're talking Million Mile Reflections, I got to ask, because we got to talk about the album, which came out a while back. It was basically the album that generated that giant hit for you guys, Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you think when you recorded that song that did you know that song was going to be as big as it became?
Oh, absolutely not. There's no way you can tell. I had an idea it would do pretty well. I thought it was a good song. I mean, I thought it was radio worthy and would play. We'd get airplay on everything. But of course, I had no idea that we'd be sitting here this many years after the fact and not talking about talking about the song, he said, "Oh, this is still the biggest song we've ever done to
Right.
this day,
Yeah.
and the most requested song that we have."
This was really funny. I'll share a personal story with you. One of my other favorites that you guys did, The Legend of Woolly Swamp. We do a lunchtime request show around here. Somebody called in for that, and I got into a discussion with a listener, and we got into the subject of how the storyline for that song would have been great for a movie. I mean, they could have made a movie about. Did you ever consider that, or did anybody ever suggest that to you on that song?
One of the TV, I think it was one of the networks, got interested in maybe doing something with it some years back and sent a lady out to talk to me about it, but it never really developed, never really happened. I'm with you, though. I think it would make a good movie.
Yeah, it would be awesome. And holidays are just around the corner. How do you spend the holidays? Are you gonna get some downtime, or are you still on the road?
Always. My guys are going to be home for Christmas.
Good.
No matter what. No matter when else we work during the year, Christmas time we will go home and celebrate Jesus' birthday always.
I'm so happy because you are so well loved, and you are just out on the road. You've been so busy this year, so I'm glad you get a little downtime. Don't forget, Charlie Daniels Band coming to Wild Horse Pass Hotel and Casino. The date, Saturday, December 10th. It is going to be an awesome show. And Charlie, you are an icon, my friend. It's been a privilege.
It's been my pleasure, and I tell you what, you come out and see us. I play Legend of Woolly for you.
I would appreciate that, my friend. You take care of yourself, and we can't wait to see you when you get here in December.
Thank you, buddy. Talk to you later. God bless.